You see it now? All right, we're on the record in cause number DF160961. Councils, will you please announce for the record?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. John Capel for petitioner Jasmine Barrientos.
Thank you.
Desiree Badassa, counsel for responding Father Gabriel Tucker.
All right, and those who intend to testify, would you please raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give will be the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Do.
Thank you. You may lower your hands. We're set today on a final trial following a motion for new trial. The only issue that is before the court is possession and access. And prior to going on the record, there were some pre-admitted exhibits that will now be admitted. So Father's Exhibit 1 is admitted as a summary, and Mother's Exhibits 1 through 6 are admitted. Are there any preliminary matters that the court needs to take up first?
Yes, Your Honor. Just, I think one, counsel and I have conferred. I believe we have two agreements by stipulation. One is, and this is not technically related to possession and access, but I think everyone agrees it would be in the child's best interest to include language for the parents to communicate through our family wizard exclusively going forward. So we by stipulation asked the court to order OFW with just the standard provisions from the family law practice manual. And that is not in our requested relief, as we reached that after the pretrial conference. And the other stipulation is at the very bottom of our requested relief on page 5, which is our Exhibit 1. We had included proposed language involving counseling for the child, which was a result of an order that Judge Lee made in a temporary orders hearing in September. And I believe we've agreed that the court should continue that counseling. And I believe the language in our proposed order, our proposed parenting plan, which is just that last paragraph on page 5, is agreed to.
All right. The court accepts the agreements between the parties.
And I have no other preliminary matters.
All right, Attorney Badassa.
I have no preliminary matters either.
All right. So your trial today, like I said, is the very limited issue of possession and access. It will be a 30-minute setting. It's 15 minutes per side. That will include any opening and closing statements, should you all choose to make one, as well as any examinations. Your exhibits are already admitted, so you don't have to worry about laying a foundation for those. At this time, Attorney Capel, would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll do so just briefly. Good afternoon again. Oh.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon again, and thank you for making time for us today. So, as the court said, we're just here on the limited issue of possession and access for mother. The proposed parenting plan that we've submitted is just to have mom awarded a standard possession order under the family code with elections. Based off of the history of the case, I think that would be warranted. I know the court is familiar with the history of this case. It's been open for quite some time, so I won't belabor the point in going through it. But during temporary orders, while this case has been pending, mother has had possession pursuant to a standard possession order at different points in time. There's certainly been no issues with regard to her possession. And so I'm not aware of any reason why she should have less time than that. But for some reason, father's trying to restrict her time to effectively not even being overnights, even though she's had extensive overnight possession during the pendency of the case without any real issue. So I'm happy to obviously question the parties today, but we would ask the court at the end of the trial to just award mother a standard possession order with elections. And thank you, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. Attorney Badassa?
Yes, Your Honor. With respects to possession and access, at the time when we had the final trial, mother's possession and access went back to the third Sunday of each month from 2 to 4. We recently had a hearing in front of Judge Lee in September in which possession and access schedule was ordered that gave mom a very modified standard possession order without any overnights. Mr. Tucker is asking that that order be made the final order of the court today. The court will hear testimony that when there was overnights going on, that there were in fact issues. And the court will further hear testimony that the child is in therapy because of an unwillingness to want to go and spend time with mother. So we are asking that mom have limited access, but that would be more than what she currently has under the underlying order. That also addresses Thanksgiving and Christmas, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. So that way there are no issues moving forward.
All right. Thank you, counsel. Attorney Capel, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Ms. Barrientos.
Okay.
Ma'am, would you please state your full name for the record?
Jasmine Lorraine Barrientos.
And you're the mother of Gabriel Tucker Jr., is that right?
Yes.
And he's the child, the subject of this suit, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And dad's name is also Gabriel, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if I say Gabriel, though, I'll refer to your son. And if I say father, I mean the father. Okay. How old's your son?
He's 9.
And you understand we're here today on a trial for your possession and access, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So under the prior final order, what was the period of possession that you were awarded each month?
I was able to see him the first, third, and fifth weekends, Wednesdays from 5 to 7, and then time in the summer, and then the holidays, how we switched between depending on the year.
So that was under the temporary orders in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So under the prior final order, you were only given, is it one period of possession each month on Sunday?
Yes, for 2 hours.
Okay. So do you remember when those temporary orders you just referenced went into effect approximately?
September 23rd.
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. The original temporary orders, was it 2022?
Yes, it was the
Okay.
end of September 20.
And under those temporary orders, you had kind of a modified standard possession order, is that right?
Yes.
And you had your son overnight on the first, third, and fifth weekends, is that right?
Yes.
And then a midweek period of possession on Wednesdays?
Yes.
And then you also had the standard holiday in summertime, is that right?
Yes.
So you exercised possession under that arrangement from 2022 until January of this year, is that right?
Yes.
How did those periods of possession go?
They were great. They were great. We enjoyed our time together. We built a bond together. We had memories together that he brings up. They were great. It made us closer, and it was good for his siblings, the whole family. It was a great time.
So do you have other children that are not part of this case?
Yes, I have 2 daughters, 2 younger daughters.
What are their names and ages?
Jules is 5 and Jolene is 4.
Okay. And so how is Gabriel's relationship with his half sisters?
They're great. They get so excited when they see each other. This time that we weren't able to see him, they were crying every day, asking for him every day, wondering where he was, when's he coming home. They still count down when he's coming home, when we get to pick him up, but their relationship is great.
Okay. So do you have primary, I guess, possession or conservatorship of those children?
Yes.
Okay. So if you were to be given a standard possession order, would they be in your possession when you would have Gabriel?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever have any issues with Gabriel not wanting to come see you under that original schedule?
The father and grandmother claimed that that's what the issue was, but when he came in, that was never the issue. He was a completely different boy every time he came. The boy that they described wasn't what came over. He wasn't the same.
Well, did you ever have any issues like completing an exchange or getting him to come with you?
One time in the very beginning when it first started, but nothing recently.
In 2022?
Yes, I believe there was times where he didn't want to come out. There was a time where he didn't want to come out, but after that, I don't recall any other times.
Okay. Did you have any other issues with him during your periods of possession?
No.
Did you ever have difficulty exercising possession on that schedule? Were you able to pick him up and drop him off on time?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you live currently?
Cedar Hill.
And where does dad live?
Coppell, I believe.
And is that where your son goes to school?
Yes.
Okay. So after the order for new trial in May, we had a hearing in front of Judge Lee in September. Is that right?
Yes.
And Judge Lee put in a new possession schedule that went through, I think, just today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so what periods of possession have you been exercising under that schedule?
I get to pick him up from school on Thursdays, which is really cool, and return him home at 8 p.m. And then the first, third, and fifth weekends, I get him Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. And did you have an overnight at Thanksgiving?
Yes, I did.
How did that period of possession go?
That went really well. We were really excited since we didn't get to spend any other nights over together, and we stayed up and we went to go eat breakfast in the morning. It went well.
Okay. So how far is the drive from your house to Dad's house?
About 45 minutes.
One way?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have to pick him up and drop him off at Dad's house on the same day, that's about an hour and a half in the car.
Yes.
Is there any reason he couldn't spend the night at your house over the weekend?
No.
Okay. If the court doesn't allow you to have overnights, or if you have to do exchanges that are not through the school, are you proposing a midpoint location to cut down on some of the drive time?
Yes.
And what is that midpoint location?
It's a gas station off 161. I don't have the address.
Sure. Well, it's what we put in the parenting plan. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It's a MK fuel station in Grand Prairie.
Yes.
And is that about equal distance from your house and Dad's house?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe it would be in your child's best interest for you to have a standard possession order with him?
Yes.
Now you understand Judge Lee ordered counseling for your son, and we've agreed to have that go forward. Do you think that's in his best interest?
Yes.
Are you happy to participate in that counseling to whatever extent you need to?
Yes.
Okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Attorney Badassa.
Yes, Ms. Barrientos, isn't it true that when you originally started off with the step-up schedule in the temporary orders back in September of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And then during that time period between the temporary order and the final trial that was in January of 2025, isn't it true that there was some CPS involvement?
Yes.
And isn't it true that there were also some injunctions that were put in place with respects to a child and G2?
Can you repeat that? What do you?
Yeah, so isn't it true that there were some restrictions put in place about who G2 can be around during
After
that
the
time
CPS
period?
case for
Yes.
his. Yes.
Okay. So there were, in fact, some issues with respects to your visitation schedule between the temporary orders and the final trial.
Yes, but the CPS was dismissed.
Objection non-responsive.
Sustained after yes.
And Ms. Barrientos, isn't it true that one of the reasons why therapy was requested was because G2 is not wanting to go and visit with you?
I thought it was because of our relationship and our bond. I never thought it was because he didn't want to come.
Okay. And you have the ability to be in communication with therapists, is that correct?
I have tried and I have not been able to be in communication, but yes, from
But
what
there's no orders restricting you from communicating with the therapist.
Correct, but the therapist is saying that only one parent can be
Objection
in.
non-responsive to everything after correct.
Sustained.
And Ms. Barrientos, you mentioned that the drive from your residence to Dad's residence is about 45 minutes one way.
Yes.
And what about the distance from your residence to the child's school?
It's the same. It's right around the corner.
Okay. Do you believe that if you were granted overnights, that it would be in G2's best interest to be in the car for at least 45 minutes extra every morning to get to school?
Yes, he says he wakes up at 5 anyway.
Okay, so you think it would be fine for him to be in the car for an extra 45 minutes minimum to get to school?
Yes, yes.
And currently your exchanges are at Dad's residence, is that correct?
I believe that's Dad's residence, yes.
All right, and they've been at Dad's residence since at least January of 2025.
I guess so. I believe so. I have no idea.
And I pass the witness.
Ma'am, what was the result of that CPS investigation you just testified about?
It was dropped. His younger cousin or his older cousin Ava was not able to be around him at family functions anymore, and they haven't seen each other since. But other than that, it was dropped. They didn't find any findings of him being in danger or anything, and the CPS case was dropped.
Okay, when you say dropped, you mean ruled out?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing further happened.
And so with regard to the therapist, this is a therapist that your son just started engaging with in the last month or so, is that right?
Yes.
Have you attempted to communicate with that therapist?
Yes.
Have you been able to get any information from that therapist's office involving therapy?
No, not at all.
Okay. You understand you are supposed to be able to have access to that information, right?
Yes.
The current order does not explicitly give you access or the ability to communicate with that therapist, right?
Yes.
It does not.
No. Well, repeat it one more time. I'm sorry.
Right. The current order does not specifically give you the ability to get information from that therapist.
Oh, no.
Okay. But you'd like it to say that so there's not any ambiguity.
Yes.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, you may call your next witness.
No further witnesses, Your Honor. We'll rest subject to cross.
All right. Attorney Badassi, you may call your first witness.
I'll call Father Gabriel Tucker.
Okay.
Mr. Tucker, with respects to visitation, how often was Miss Barrientos visiting with G2 after the final trial in January of 2025?
On the regularly scheduled days that she was supposed to for 2 hours.
Okay, and is that every third Sunday of the month?
Yes.
Right. Did you notice any changes in G2's demeanor before or after those visits would occur?
Yes.
And what was that?
Usually he's bouncing around, but like if he knows it's time to go over there or be around there, I have to like give him like a pep talk to like go out there and try, like go interact, or else he would just stand by me and not interact. So I have to give him a talk.
And that was the case even with him just visiting with mom for 2 hours?
Yes.
Was there any times when G2 had any activities at school in which Miss Barrientos would attend?
Yes.
Okay, and can you give me an example of when that was?
It was one recently for before the Thanksgiving break. They had like a turkey trot. They like ran around, and I mean, I was there. I ran around with them. The teacher said the parents could. Miss Barrientos just kind of stood there, but I was with the children running around.
Did he seem engaged or excited to be around Miss Barrientos?
No,
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustain, rephrase.
Based on your observation of your son, did you notice his demeanor looking like he was excited to be around Miss Barrientos?
no,
Did Miss Barrientos bring her other children to that event?
no,
Right. Were there any school activities in which you got to witness G2 interacting with his siblings at Miss Barrientos' residence?
at her residence.
The children that live in her residence, my apologies.
Yes.
Okay, and when was that?
That was the end of last year for, I think, like field day.
And when you say the end of last year, do you mean the end of 2024 or the end of last school year?
School year.
Okay. So would that have been around May of 2025?
Yes.
Ms. Barrientos testified that G2's relationship with his siblings that live with her is great. Based on your observations that day, would you agree with that testimony? Sorry, I didn't hear your response.
No.
And based on your observation from that day, how would you describe the relationship that G2 had with those siblings?
He wasn't interactive with him.
Okay. Did he interact with them at all?
No, he actually asked for me to check out my daughter.
Objection hearsay.
Sustain.
Do you have any children outside of this suit?
Yes.
Okay, and how many children do you have?
One other besides G2
And where does that child live?
with me.
All right. Was that child present during this field day as well?
Yes.
Did G2 have any interactions with her?
Yes.
Okay, and how so?
They were playing with their friends because they're around the same age group.
Okay. And did he do that at all with the siblings with Mas Barrientos?
No.
As of September, his G2's visitation with mom increased. Did you let G2 know that he was going to spend more time with mom?
Yes.
And did you notice any changes in his demeanor when you relayed that information to him?
Yes.
And what changes did you notice in his demeanor without stating what he told you?
He was not as energetic. He kind of just like sat around the rest of the day.
And do you notice any changes in his demeanor now when it comes time to visit with mom?
Yes.
And how does he act?
He goes in his room and kind of just hangs out by himself.
And is that normal for him to do?
No.
Okay, what does he do on a normal time when it's not time to visit with mom?
Um, watch YouTube on TV, call me in there, trying to show me new dances, playing with his sister.
Okay, but before visits, he's more reserved.
Yes.
And do you notice anything different about his demeanor when he's finished visiting with mom?
Yes.
And what is that?
It he kind of still wants to be left alone until maybe my daughter go bother him and then he'll get back in a bright mood.
Okay. Do you think that it would be in G2's best interest to go back to having an expanded standard possession order with Ms. Barrientos?
No.
Do you have any personal knowledge as to why G2 doesn't want to go and visit with Ms. Barrientos?
The way he's treated.
And what is it, how is he treated?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustain.
Or let me rephrase, how do you know that there's something different about how he's treated over at Ms. Barrientos? Have you seen it yourself?
No, I haven't seen myself.
Okay. G2 is currently in therapy. What is the basis of what he's working on in therapy?
The relationship with his mother.
Okay. And to your knowledge, has that relationship improved since he started therapy?
No.
And over the course of these years, has his relationship with his siblings at Miss Barrientos improved?
No.
Objection calls for speculation.
Oh, let me go back to the question. And to your knowledge, has the relationship improved since he started therapy? Overrule.
Are you asking the court today to keep in place the orders that were implemented by Judge Lee in September?
Yes.
And do you think that those orders would be in G2's best interest?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
Okay. Attorney Capel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, after the after the trial in January, you refused to let Miss Barrientos see your son more than one day a month. Is that right?
I went by the court order.
Okay. You understand you're allowed to let her see your son more frequently than the periods of possession of the court order, right?
Yes.
That you did not do so, though, did you?
I gave my son the choice if he wanted to go there.
Okay, so you gave a 9-year-old the authority to dictate his own possession schedule. That's your testimony?
Not possession schedule, as if he would like to visit her. I gave him the choice, yes.
Okay, so do you typically let your 9-year-old son make decisions about his life, or do you make decisions as a parent on his behalf?
I make decisions that I need to make as a parent on his behalf, but I let him make decisions I feel like he's capable of making on his own.
You think he's capable of making his own decisions about which parent he's in possession of?
Which he wants to visit, I believe so.
Okay, so you're not going to let Miss Barrientos have any more periods of possession than the court orders her to have, is that right? You've demonstrated that based off of your behavior this last year?
Yes, I would.
You'd let her have more periods of possession?
Yes.
Have you ever let her have more periods of possession in the past than the court ordered her to have?
No.
Okay. You testified a moment ago that the purpose of the therapy was to improve your son's relationship with mom. That's not what Judge Lee ordered, is it? Counseling is individual for your son, isn't that right?
Yes, for him.
Right. It's not joint therapy with mom.
No.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Redirect.
Yes. Mr. Tucker, were there any issues that were taking place that you were aware of whenever Ms. Barrientos had a standard possession order?
Besides the CPS case and hearsay, no.
Okay. How many times was CPS called?
It was called once.
Okay. And is it true that there were some restrictions put in place about who G2 can be around as a result of that CPS case?
Yes.
Okay. And you testified that you would let Ms. Barrientos have additional time in the future. What would you need to give Ms. Barrientos additional time in the future?
to visibly see that our son is comfortable enough to go around more, willingly enough to go around more.
So if G2 was asking to go and visit with mom, you would have no issues with that?
No.
Okay. And you believe that he is mature enough to make that decision?
Yes.
But if G2 said he doesn't want to go and visit with mom on a court-ordered visit, do you believe he has the ability to say no?
No.
All right. And do you afford G2 that same opportunity to decide if he wants to go and visit with a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't even force him to go to those relatives if he doesn't want to go?
No.
All right. And you believe, again, that based on his age and maturity level, that's fine?
Yes.
Okay. If he were asking to visit with his siblings at Miss Barrientos' residence, would you be okay with that?
Yes.
All right. But has he?
No.
I pass the witness.
All right. Anything further from this witness?
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right. Attorney Badassi, you may call your next witness.
I have no more witnesses. I rest.
Okay. If the court were to entertain a standard possession schedule, how would the child I was thinking out loud and I lost my train of thought. Did we do a custody evaluation?
We did, Your Honor.
Ms. Barrientos, how would you describe your son's relationship with his siblings?
Your Honor, their relationship is great. When I pick them up from school, they're laughing, giggling, whispering to each other, playing hide and seek. Like they are like the three peas in a pod. They love each other. They put as soon as we get home, they're like, let's go do this, and let's do this to mom. Like it's just they're great. They're close. They're so excited now that, like I said, the 9 months that they went without seeing him, the field day last year that we brought up when they first seen him, that was the first time seeing him. So they were a little standoffish. They were, they didn't know, like, do I run and play with brother? What do I do? And that was the first time. But now they count, like I said, they count down the days to see their brother more than they're counting down days for Santa to come. Like they absolutely adore their brother. And G loves being with them as well. He runs around with them. He plays with them. He's like, Mom, I'm gonna go find my sisters. Let's play hide and seek together. And they are 4 and 5, so I understand, sometimes he does get he's 9. So, he does want his me time where he wants to play with me, and we do our own things. We do our own activities, when they're doing other things.
And what you're saying is you believe it's in G2's best interest as it stands right now for you to have a standard possession schedule?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So the court is going to take this under advisement and I'll get you all a ruling out.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
We all
Thank you.
excuse.